Hey everybody, welcome back to Building Up. My name is Tyler, and today we're going to be making some characters from The Last of Us in Lego form. Guys, I was so blown away by the first season of this show. I watched it twice. I'm going to watch it a third time leading up to the next season, and I'm not a huge gamer, but I did end up watching a full playthrough of the first game, and on top of that, I learned how to play the show's theme on the guitar. Kind of. So it's safe to say I was fully invested and maybe a little obsessed with the world of The Last of Us at this point, and the next natural step for me, obviously, was to make the main characters out of Lego. And I knew Lego wouldn't release anything official, how do I say this, due to the non-family friendly nature.
Away from me! Oh shit, fuck you, man.
But I love a good challenge, so I pulled up some reference photos and got to work. I also thought about waiting to make this video until the second season of the show premiered, but with all the Emmys the first season just won, I figured this was as good a time as any. But if I'm being totally honest, I just couldn't wait to show these off, so here they are. And starting off we have Joel. For his legs, I used these dark blue legs with brown belt and holster printing from Owen Grady from Jurassic World. Then moving up, I used this dark tan jacket torso also from Jurassic World, and this comes from the character Kayla Watts. This torso is literally perfect in my opinion because underneath the jacket is that seafoam green plaid shirt that he wears in the game and show, so I was really happy with that part. For an accessory, I actually gave him this gun piece not made by Lego. This one is the M1 Garand, and it actually comes from the Brickarms limited edition Reloaded series. Brickarms makes a ton of high quality Lego compatible guns since, as we know, Lego doesn't like to make accurate guns, and I think this one matches closest to the one Joel uses. Of course, you could also use this rifle piece if you want to stick with official Lego. Moving on to his backpack, I used this one in reddish brown with a dark green sleeping bag from the Jungle Explorer figure, aka the updated Johnny Thunder figure that Lego gave us in the Series 19 CMF. Then for the head, of course, I used the head Lego finally gave us for Pedro Pascal and the Din Djarin figure that first showed up in the N1 Naboo Starfighter set. And lastly, for his hair, I used this new spiked swept-up hairpiece in dark gray from King Magnifico from Disney's Wish. Moving on to Ellie, I used those dark blue medium legs from the Horse Groomer figure from the Series 22 CMF. Then going up to the torso, I gave her this olive green jacket from the Maisie Lockwood figure from Jurassic World. I haven't loved the recent Jurassic World movies, or sets, but they clearly gave us some useful parts if nothing else. Anyways, for her head, I gave her this one from Hermione Granger from the Harry Potter Series 2 CMF. For an accessory, of course I had to give her a switchblade, so I just used this knife piece in dark gray. Then I gave her a regular reddish-brown ponytail for her hair. Normally that would be it for this figure, but I also want to show you a different torso you might prefer, so here it is. It's this dark red jacket from Harry Potter, and that's just a little more accurate to what we see her wearing earlier in the story. And finally, we have a clicker. I just used these dark brown legs and this olive green torso from the zombie from Scooby-Doo. Then I gave it this light tan head from the Mouth of Sauron figure from The Lord of the Rings, and gave it some light tan hands to match. That torso does have some pale green printing on the neck there, so it doesn't quite match up with the head, but it's close enough. And that wraps up my custom minifigures from The Last of Us, or so I thought. About a week ago, I saw a post on Instagram from ThrawnBuilds with these really nice figures and some beautiful figure photography, so after looking into it a little further, I found out where he got the figures, Citizen Brick. I've bought a few figures from Citizen Brick in the past, and I was really happy with them, but I didn't think I'd pick these ones up because I was already pretty happy with the ones I had made. That was until I saw this piece. One thing I felt was missing from my custom figures was a piece on the clicker's head that represents the fungus growing over the eyes. So I ended up buying these after all. And as luck would have it, they showed up in the mail yesterday. So here they are. And right off the bat, I love the packaging with the artwork in the background and that stylized name they gave this figure pack, since they obviously can't market this officially as the Last of Us merchandise. But let's go ahead and take a look at these out of the package. So first up we have Joel, and they actually sent me these custom molded display plates as well for the figures to stand on, so I'm definitely going to be using those. But anyways, as you can see, the printing here is really nice. Citizen Brick does pad printing, which I think is the same technique Lego uses, so these really do look like slightly more detailed figures that Lego would make. I do love the torso and those backpack straps, although I think the dark tan jacket I used is more accurate. I also like the hair in dark brown with those gray highlights. That might be more accurate to the show, but I personally prefer the hairpiece I used. But the highlight of this figure for me is the head. Obviously the official Lego one that I used looks like Pedro Pascal, but the facial hair is in dark brown rather than gray, and his beard is a bit more full in The Last of Us than it is in The Mandalorian, so I think this looks a lot closer to his appearance in that show. So what I'm going to do now is take the head from this figure and put it on my own, and we'll see how that looks. And here it is. Citizen Brick used that new skin tone, which is the same as the head I was already using on this figure, so it worked perfectly. And I really like how this looks. I think this is how I'll be displaying mine, and I honestly can't think of anything that would make this figure better. Now moving on to Ellie from that Citizen Brick pack. Unlike Joel, I don't love the head they used here, and I think I'll stick with the one I used. I'm also not a huge fan of the legs. That shoe printing is really nice, but I just prefer the plain legs that I used. That jacket torso, however, is great, and I also like that custom molded switchblade, so I think I'll take those and put them on my figure. And here's what that looks like. This torso is definitely more accurate than the dark red one I used because her jacket doesn't have that plaid design on it. I'm still going to display mine with the olive green jacket, and that's just a matter of preference, but I'll definitely keep that switchblade piece. And finally, we have the clicker figure from Citizen Brick. I really like just about everything here with those more tattered legs and torso and that fungus printing, but the standout here is that custom molded piece on top of the head. I just think it looks so accurate to the design in the show and game, and that's what was missing from my own custom. The only downside of this figure, in my opinion, is that head. It just has that classic kind of gaping zombie mouth, but as we know, the clickers aren't any ordinary zombies. And I was hoping to swap that head with the Mouth of Sauron one from my figure because I just prefer that creepier smile, but that was before I actually got my hands on these and realized that custom molded fungus piece is attached to the Citizen Brick one permanently, but I'm still pretty happy with this figure as is. So here we have all three of these figures how I'll be displaying them, and I think those pieces I borrowed from the Citizen Brick pack really elevate all three of these, so if you're interested in picking those up, I'll leave a link to their website below. Just be warned that Citizen Brick customs are fairly pricey, but they're actually on the lower end of custom printed figures, and they print on authentic Lego pieces, so the quality makes up for it. And there you have it, guys, The Last of Us characters in Lego form. Let me know in the comments if there are any pieces you would use that might make these figures even better, and Citizen Brick, please sponsor me if I ever get more subscribers. And that'll do it for today's video, so I will see you in the next one. Take care. But wait, if you're also a nerd and you want to see more, leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, follow me on my socials, Instagram and TikTok @BuildingUpBricks, and as always, keep building up.